What is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over pretty much everything for what a bearded dragon needs, including lights, glasses, tanks, all sorts of stuff, food, diet. But before I get to all that, I want to say a big thanks to my new recent subscribers. I started out with 5 and now I'm up to 20 in like a day. That's just amazing. That's just unfathomable. But a big thanks to Jake Scott Herbst. He did a shout out for me. He really pulled through. But anyways, I'm doing this video for startup bearded dragons. If people in the market to buy bearded dragons, they don't know what kind to get, what type to get, what big, how size, what kind of tank should I get, what kind of light should I get, what kind of lights do I need. I'm going to try and cover all that. So this might be a lengthy video. If it is, sorry, I'm gonna try and edit some of this stuff out. All right. Choosing a healthy dragon. How active? Most people buy the dragons at Petco or another pet store. I would recommend, hate to say this, but pet stores, just for sole fact that you actually look at the dragon and see if it is in good health. If it's got all its fingers, toes, tails, all sorts of things. Make sure there's no injuries, no missing toes, scars, burns. No pus in the eyes or face. They do not regrow toes. They do not regrow tails. I don't know if you can see him, but Leo's in there. I got him from a guy, and when he was a baby, they like to bite at his face. His face is severely scarred up, and his mouth is not closed together. So right now, I am taking very good care of him, keeping an extra good eye on him. I'll take him out here in a minute. Also, when you're getting your first dragon, some people decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to get my first dragon, it's going to be a baby. I'm going to raise him up right, yada, yada, yada. That, my friends, is highly frowned upon. Why? Because if you're an inexperienced dragon buyer, you do not know what these little guys need. They are very fragile. They get sick easily, they get injured easily, and if you're not experienced, you could probably kill them without knowing it. So, what I would recommend is starting out with a sub-adult or an adult dragon, because these guys, you're looking at, this is what they do all day. And just keep a bowl of greens, keep the lights on, and they're happy. Guys over here, they'll tear everything up. They'll jump off of stuff. They'll run around and chase crickets all day, which isn't a bad thing, but they could somehow get hurt. Just show signs of sickness that you don't know of. So I would start out with adult bearded dragons first, just to get accustomed to them. And then once you get more experience with them, then I would start out with smaller ones. Tanks, I would, there's many different kind of tanks out there. There's glass tanks that are heavy, but they do not hold heat well. And they also, if you have a colorful dragon, they'll start to go dull. As you can see, Lily, she is a very colorful dragon when she's not in this tank, but right now she's very, very dull. There's also Malin mine cages that are made of type of wood. You can either build them or you can get them online. They hold in heat very well. However, they are very expensive and very, very heavy. I'm sorry if I'm doing the weird stuff with the camera. I'm just trying to make it a little more interesting. Also, PVC cages. They look attractive. However, they are expensive. I think they're running in hundreds of dollars just for one. There's also vision cages, which can be stacked, also expensive. And also lids. You want to always make sure you have either a screen like this or an open air tank. She has an open air tank just for sole fact. I mean, look how tall that thing is. She's not climbing out there anytime soon. He, however, if this was an open air tank, he could crawl out of the corner. So that's why I have a screen on there. I'm sorry, I wrote a whole bunch of notes down. I mean, look at all this. There's 3 pages of this. Going on to page 2. Sorry if I'm boring you. But on the tank sizes, baby dragons 5 inches and under, 10 gallons. This is a 10-gallon tank. 10 gallons would be just fine. They're happy. It's got plenty of room. It's not too big where they lose the crickets, so that'll be just fine for them. Any dragons above 10 to 16 inches, 40-gallon tank. Anything over 20 plus inches, recommend 75 tank or bigger. She, I think the last time I weighed her, she was 14, or measured, she was 14 inches. She weighs 300 grams, so she's pretty fat. He is only 10 inches and weighs 30 grams, so you can see the difference. Also, lights. Lights should include UVA, UVB, fluorescent tubes, not the coils. I know I've expressed this in my earlier videos. Hold on, let me see if I can find one. These coils, they're right here. These guys. God damn, you do not want to use those. I made the mistake of using them in her early stages of Lily's life. Thank God there were no significant damage to her. But as soon as I changed her lights to a fluorescent, things got way better. She was more active, she was eating more. Basking bulb should be on 12 to 14 hours a day. And the UVB sun should be 6 to 8 inches away from the dragon itself. She's just about maybe an inch or two short of that, but which is fine. I would recommend changing UVB tubes every 6 months. However, Power Sun, which is what Leo has, combines heat and UVB. However, Power Suns, although they combine both UVB and heat, they are fragile, and this bulb costs $100 itself. Not the housing, just the bulb in the package itself. The reason I have him under a Power Sun is because I had him in his tank. He was getting lost, he didn't know what the hell was going on. So I had to take him out, put him under the Power Sun. I usually keep juveniles under Power Sun just because juveniles need more heat versus adults. And so when he gets to a size about, goes another, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches, I'll put him in a 55-gallon tank. But for right now, I'm going to keep him in his 10-gallon tank. The Power Sun is really good to raise them up, not good to keep them on, if you understand what I'm saying. Which is, again, comes back to the coils. That light is very bright, so if you keep them exposed to that for long periods of time throughout their life, they will tend to get eye problems. Also, you should have a hot side, a warm side, and a cool side. For adults, the basking temperatures are right around 95, 100 degrees. For juveniles, it's a bit higher. It's about 105, 110. I have a thermometer. It's actually for the Dubai roaches right now. She's got a basking temp of 102. He's got a basking temp of 106. So they're right on the money. Sorry, my throat's really dry. Also, do not, for the love of Christ, do not use those electric heat rocks. The electric heat rocks heat up super fast. Bearded dragons have pain receptors all over the top of their body. They do not have pain receptors underneath them, because in nature, they're not getting their heat from underneath them, they're getting their heat from on top of them. So when they feel too much heat on top of them, they will move off the rock. They will not feel the heat sensors underneath them, which will cause them to burn and cause internal damage. So please stay away from those heat rocks. Also, I know this is a lot, I'm sorry. Also, the cool side should be around 85 degrees. The warm side should be about 90, and the hot side just went over that. Also, nighttime. The tank can fall to as low as 65 degrees, but is recommended to keep around 70 75 at night. If you cannot maintain this heat at night, I would recommend using a tank heater. There's a heat mat. You actually just slide right under these guys. She kind of curls up in this corner, so I put it right under here. I got a nighttime bulb for him. I'll probably do in the next video is a nighttime shoot. But yeah, he's still under his hide. Also use the thermometers. I already know the temperatures, but if you guys are novice or just starting out, I would get those sticky thermometers, put one there and put one there. Both thermometers and one humidity gauge right in the center. But I would recommend it for a smaller cage like this. Oh boy. Let's see. The humidity for a bearded dragon should be around 10 to 15%. Not too high, because again they are desert dwelling dragons. Too high and they will develop respiratory problems, and over that you really don't want any of that in a dragon. It's bad news. Alright. Also, a water dish. As you can see, I do not keep a water dish in my bearded dragon tanks. Number one, they flip it over, dump it out. That shit goes everywhere. You gotta clean it. Two, they poop in it, and they just make a mess out of it. and it brings up the humidity way high. I also don't spritz in my tanks because that also increases humidity. What I do is 2 to 3 times a week for 10-minute sessions, I put Lily and Leo in the tub to swim around for exercise, and when I'm cleaning their cage, I will put Lily in the sink just so as the water just barely covers the base of her tail. That way she has plenty of room to stand. She's not in any danger of drowning. Same rule goes for him. I can leave him in there to about 10-15 minutes. It gives me plenty of time to shoot upstairs, clean out their cage, spray a little wipeout, get it all nice and clean. So they're getting their drink. It can also relieve impaction. They're cleaning their cage, all within 10-15 minutes. But then again, that's 2 to 3 times a week, depending on what their health issue is. If they're shedding, I would recommend 2 to 3 times a day, depending on how heavy the shed is. Now, when they're shedding, there's a tricky spot on the toes and on the tail. When that happens, you do not want to pick off that scales. What happens is you can damage the new scales coming in. Now, you can put them in the sink at lukewarm water, about 90 degrees. Doesn't have to be exact, give or take. Once you put them in that water, let them soak for a good 2 to 3 minutes and start rubbing them. Don't give them too much pressure because you'll break their toes. Just rub them, kind of massage it, loosen it up. Oh boy, I'm sorry, this is a lot, I know, but like I said, this is a video to kind of give you a little bit more understanding if you're in the market for a bearded dragon, what exactly you're getting yourself into. Alright, tank bedding. Young dragons should be on paper towels, repti carpet. Do not use sand, stones, or loose substrate. I was just reading an article tonight where the lady had an adult dragon, and she put these little designer stones in them. They were maybe that big. It's kind of a sprinkle melt there at the cage. So the dragon decided to eat them, got an impaction, she didn't notice it, and it died within a month. So, kind of stay away from that kind of stuff. I took out her sand. I wasn't really too impressed with it. Besides, I'm leaving for the army in about a month, and my wife is not going to be able to take all the sand out and clean it 2-3 times a week. So, to make it easier on her, I just took all the sand out. And for him, because it's a little safer, I was watching him. He wasn't eating it, but then again, he was chasing the dubia roaches around, and I really don't want him to risk it. Oh boy, what else? Sexing. Alright, sexing your bearded dragon. Alright, this is Lily. I'll lift up her tail. As you can see, this is her vent right here. There should be 2 hemipenes on either side. If there is no hemipenes, that means she's a female. What are hemipenes? They look like 2 little bulges on either side of her vent. Now, if you want to know what hemipenes look like, I could pull them out, but that would just piss them off. Just go to Google, type in bearded dragon sexting. That's sexting, and you can definitely see the clear difference. It's more prominent in mature bearded dragons than juvenile bearded dragons. Just for a simple fact is that they are mature. Oh my god, this is a lot. Alright guys, hang in there with me. Hides. Buy or make one. Basking platform should be right underneath the dragon's basking area. She does not have a hide during the day. This is her hide right here. I bought it. Oh my god, it was like 15 bucks. Don't ever buy one of those. Not that they're bad, they're just too damn expensive. Get an old shoe box, cut it up. This is what he's under. He's just happy.